Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Shin's class again. Today we're going to revise the 2.2 graph topic. Right, what were the graphs that we learnt so far? Yeah, the first one was the parabola. Then we learnt cubic. And what else? Yeah, that's right, sine and cosine, the trig functions. Okay, today in this lesson I'm going to revise each one of them so you remember how to do the activities that I'm giving you now. Okay, so let's go over parabola first. Okay, remember for the parabola, this is the original function. And there you go, this is the translated version of the parabola. Okay, so do you remember what each of them, A, B, and C? Okay, what did A represent? Yeah, when the A value is positive, then it's a happy face. It's basically positive curve, right? What happens if A is negative? When the A value is negative, it's a sad curve, so it's going down. So basically, when A is positive, right, you'll find a minimum point of the parabola. When A value is negative, it's looking upside down, right? So you can find the maximum value. Okay, just like this, which we call the turning point or the vertex. Okay, then tell me, what does the positive negative B stands for? Yeah, so positive and negative B represents the horizontal translation. So plus B represents the original curve. Okay, this one will translate horizontally to the left by the B unit. Okay, so if it's positive, you normally think it's going to go right, but no, it's the opposite direction. It's going left. Okay, then what happened if it was negative B? Yep, that's right. It's going to move horizontally to the right by B unit. Okay, so my B represents the horizontal translation. Okay? Okay, then tell me, what does the plus minus C about? Right, the one thing that's different between B and C is whatever the B value is inside the bracket, whereas C is outside the bracket. So that's the difference, how you find out the difference between B and C. Okay, so my C is outside the bracket. So for example here, if I had 3 outside the bracket, that would represent my C value. If the plus 3 was inside the bracket, then it should be my B. Okay, right, let's talk about plus C. My B value was talking about the horizontal left and right. Then have a guess, what would C about? Yep, that's right, it's going to be up and down vertical translation. Right, and if it's plus C, it's going up, right, up by C unit. And if it's negative C, then it's going down by C unit. Okay, so talking about comparing with the original graph, the original graph will translate up by the C value or down by C value, whatever you have in front of C, the sign in front of C. If it's plus, up, negative, down. Right, this is my last tip for you for the parabola. Alright, the vertex, remember, whatever the vertex you get, so over here it's a sad curve, so A value will be negative, therefore you should have maximum point for your turning point. Okay, whatever the coordinate you get for your vertex, the turning point, this will be your B and C value, the horizontal translation and vertical translation. I explained why in class, the theory behind it, so hopefully you remember. Okay, so the simple thing from now, you should remember that if you get, for example, if this is negative V, negative 2, say this is 3, 3, then you're using the B value over here, you change it, you change the sign, use the opposite sign, so instead of negative 2, you put plus 2 over here, Whereas this one, if you set this as 3, you just keep the same sign, 3 plus 3 in there. Okay, then let's have a go at doing this example. Right, the first thing, number 1, what do you need to do? I need to find out what my vertex is. There you go, 2, 5. Right, then what was this value? That was my B value with the opposite sign. You need to change the sign and put it in B. And that one was C with the same sign. Remember? There you go. B with the opposite sign, C with the same sign. I'm plugging in B and C over here. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Right, so let's have a go. A, I still don't know, so I'm going to write A. X, I'm going to keep it X, right? 2, with the opposite sign, so what's the opposite sign of plus 2? Should be -2, should be my B, right? Close the bracket, squared, close the bracket, squared. Right, my C, instead of my C, now I have a value which is 5. I'm going to keep the sign which is plus 5. There you go. That's one first step. Right. Then the next question is, okay, how can I find the A value? I know it's negative because it's sad. Dun, dun. Right. You see the sad face? It's sad face, so it's negative value. But I'm not going to put the negative value in front of X, but instead I'm going to calculate it and show that A value turns out to be a negative. Right, then how can I find the value of A? Okay, right, in order to find A, you can use any point on the curve. Okay, you can plug any point on the curve, but which is easiest one to solve. Okay, so for example, say I know this value, say it's -1. So in coordinate, it's going to be -1, 0, right? So this is on the curve, so I'm just going to plug this in the equation to find out the A. Remember, -1 is the X value, and 0 is the Y value. So instead of X, I'm going to put -1. Instead of Y, I'm going to put 0. Okay? So Y, instead of Y, I put 0. A, I'm trying to calculate A value. And X, instead of X, what is my value? Yeah, there you go, -1. I'm going to keep on writing -2 squared plus 5. Right, all I need to do is calculate and solve the value for A. So inside the bracket, -1 minus 2. That's right, it's going to be -3. -3 squared would be, right, it's 9A, right? Okay, in order to isolate A, 9A should equal, I'm going to send it away. It's going to be -5, great. And 9 and A, it's linked with multiplication. So I'm going to send 9. What would happen? There you go. My A value is -5 over 9. Oh, it's negative. Yep, it's correct because I have sad curve. Great. So I need to rewrite the solution. Okay, just like this. So there you go. That was a quick summary of the parabola. Okay, how to get the value for B and C, what does it represent, how to find the value of A, and so on. Okay, so I hope this video helped, and in the next video I'm going to talk about how to find the cubic function. Okay, right, see you in the next video. Bye bye.